Welcome, everyone, to the Being Mother Hustler podcast. I'm your host, Kareen Mills, and we are blessed today to sit down with Michelle. I can't wait to hear your story, Michelle. So, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm super excited.
We're super excited to listen to your journey. Sure, it's going to be amazing. So, we usually start it off with your childhood. And when you tell that story, I would love for you to take us through that story and take us to your adulthood and how
hmm
you got there through that and through your journey as a child. What kind of things did you learn from your parents? What kind of things did you learn from your journey as a child? Because I think I love listening to the child version of us because we are so innocent when we were a child and we have big, big
Yeah.
dreams. We're never scared to dream when we're a child. So I'll let you take it all away.
Awesome. All right. So, starting off, my parents, Donna and George, they've been together for probably about 33 years, been married for like 26 years. So I did come from a very loving home. I grew up in New Jersey, and I moved to Florida when I was about 6 years old. My parents were entrepreneurs. They always owned businesses. They owned a cleaning company actually in New Jersey, and they brought it down to Tampa when we first moved here, but then they stopped. And then after that, my mother opened up her sister's daycare. And when she saw the success that was happening with that, she went ahead and opened up her own. So I grew up in the entrepreneurial bloodline. Like that's what it was. My mom was a hustler. Like when it comes down to like my worth ethics to date today, like it's because she set the tone. She set such a great example of what a hardworking woman would be.
Wow.
So that was one thing that I know that I developed from her. And my father, the same way, he grew up in not such the great and not such a great part of Trenton, and he dealt with a lot of things and adversities within his family. So they ultimately wanted the best for me and my brother. And my childhood was amazing. There was, I had everything I could ever imagine. I'm a mom now, and some mothers sometimes they say, I wish I can give my kids everything that I didn't have. And it's just like, for me, I'm like, how am I going to outdo what my family did for me? Because I
Wow.
never knew what, struggling was, or what I just had everything I ever wanted. But my parents worked extremely hard. They, made sure that me and my brother were there in the front line at all times to see how business operations were going. I mean, even when we were younger, my mom had my crib in her daycare office. It was
Wow.
never a question if we weren't around. Um, and it made me become responsible really quickly, because at certain points, around the time I was like a teenager, 15, 16, I was running the daycare. I was going there in the morning with her, opening it, taking payments. So she instilled it in me really, really quick. Like, you got to get it yourself. You never depend on anybody. Like, you got to work hard and you hustle for as many hours a day that you feel like you need to get it done. And so that's one thing that I know that I appreciate her a lot for. Um, and I grew up, and I have a brother. He's 30, so we're about 4 years apart from each other, but we're best friends. So growing up with somebody that I resonated with so well, and he's just so understanding, and it was never a judgmental thing, and we could talk about anything, and like it's still that same way today. So my childhood was just amazing. I don't ever remember a time where I really like went through anything, because my parents protected us. They made sure that we were in the best schools. We had just the best of everything. And I think that that shaped me to be a good woman, and understand, the quality of life that I want to maintain for me and my kids. But it was kind of like shell shocking, because when I hit that point where I turned 18, 19 years old, and my parents didn't have the business anymore, and it was like, what do I do now? Like I had to go out and find a job, and I had to like, it's different when you're getting a check from mommy and daddy versus having to go out into the real world and get a check. So I learned that very quickly that it's not the same, but I learned really quick. Like, so I picked it up, I picked up the pace, and I always kept really good jobs. I always, school just wasn't for me. Honestly, I failed college algebra like 4 times at 2 different colleges. I was just like, I'm done. I'm over it. because my heart lies in business. I mean, everything about the process, you know, starting something, creating the logo, creating the colors, creating the feel that you want to have your clients feel, like all that to me is just like euphoria. Like it's a drug for me. And
Yes.
that's why I'm always on the go with the hustle, because I love to take a business from nothing and build that solid foundation, you know, making sure that we have the business plan, the strategy, everything is just in place, and there's like no way that we could fail. And if we do, we just go ahead and we just try again. So that's, for me, it's like, that's where my heart lies. So I tried to go back to school for business, and my guidance counselor is like, are you going to go work for somebody? And I'm like, no. And he's just like, so you honestly don't need this, Michelle. You know, you can invest this into your businesses or something. And I was like, okay. So having those jobs, and I always worked at staffing agencies because, you know, they can get you into different places without having to have a degree. So I was like an HR supervisor at UPS. I did business acquisition for Spectrum. Like I had great jobs, but I learned so much from them that I'm now able to implement into my businesses to date. So then I had my first son at 19, and that was really like shocking for me because I was planning on going to the Air Force. I really wanted to travel the world, and I thought that that would be like the best way, you know, military, it'll work out, great benefits, good pay. But obviously God had other plans for me. So I went to the hospital because I thought I had the flu, and I found out I was 12 weeks pregnant. So
Wow.
that's when, yeah, that's when everything just like went in for a whirlwind. And I was extremely nervous, but my mom was super excited. You know, she had just was getting ready to like make the transition to sell her business and everything like that. So she was like, stay at home, grandma. I'm going to, you know, be all this nana and grandma. And so she was so excited. So it really made it a great experience for me. But at that point, me and my boyfriend at the time, which is my first son's father, we were good until he found out I was pregnant. Then everything kind of like just went crazy.
Yeah.
And, you know, I ended up dealing with a lot of domestic violence, and it was just such a toxic relationship. And I thank God to date that we're able to actually sit in the same room together and co-parent. But it was definitely a really, really hard journey because, you know, I didn't grow up in a household where I saw my dad hitting my mom. And, you know, it was, for me, it was like, okay, that's my son's father. I have to stay with him. I need to be with the first person I'm with. You know, it's like we're conditioned as young girls to
Wow.
believe that the first man you're with, you got to be with. If you have a kid with them, you have to have a family. And so I learned really quickly, I cannot be the mother that my son needs for me to be if I'm in this toxic relationship. You know, I'm depressed and I don't even want to be around anybody. And it's just like, as soon as I realized that I can let the weight go and I'll be able to move forward, I did. And that's when I just began to flourish. You know, I was upset that I was going to be a single mom, but I knew that me being a single mom was going to be better for my son than to keep him around something that could possibly harm him growing up. So, you know, being young, 19 years old with a baby, and making decisions like that to leave my family behind and go back home and kind of start my life again, I got caught up in wanting to live my life versus wanting to be a mom, you know, still being fresh out of high school. And it's just like, you see your friends off at college and partying. So I did get off track for a little bit of time. I thank God that my parents were so strong and structured that they helped me, you know, try to maintain and still keep my mommyhood intact. But I did veer off, and I like to be transparent about that because I believe that we're not perfect. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we go through things in life, and our circumstances can change how we act in that moment. And me going through that depression and just getting out of, you know, domestic violence, it caused me to need other coping mechanisms. And thankfully, you know, my family helped me get through that, but that was a really trying time in my life. So I'm moving forward, got past all that, and now I'm getting back into the working field. Held a job for about 3 years. It was a great job. I moved up in the company pretty quickly, but I still felt so unfulfilled. I ended up getting FMLA and like constantly calling out because I wanted to work on my dream. That's when I birthed Queen Cleaning Concepts, which was around 2015. And it's a residential and commercial cleaning company. And I remember just sitting there, you know, it was in a call center. So I have my headphones on and I'm writing, and calls are coming in, and I'm just like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like drawing up my logo, and I'm writing down my color schemes, and I'm like just thinking and like Googling, like, you know, different cleaning companies in Orlando so I could see what they were doing. And it just like, in those moments I felt so happy, and I'm like, this isn't for me. Like, I have to get out of this. I can't keep this job mentality. It just wasn't for me. So
What's the
I
cleaning company's name?
Queen Cleaning Concepts.
Wow. So I'm going to stop you right there really quick
Okay.
because I wrote a lot of notes, and
I'm sorry.
No. This is really, really good. And I'm so excited for you because you are a go-getter. And I truly believe that our environment growing up really makes a huge impact on us. But with yours, it wasn't a traumatic childhood. It was
Yeah.
actually a really close to perfect childhood. I'm sure it's not perfect, but it was close. And
Yeah.
so I think that has a tendency in my mind, and you just proved me wrong, that to spoil kids, right? Like like it has a tendency to make you not want to go for it because you were given
Yeah.
a lot of things. And now that I'm talking to you and I'm getting to know you, I'm so impressed by the fact that you absorbed everything that your parents did, and shows that what we show our children is truly
Mm-hmm.
what sticks a lot. And you talk a lot about your walking away from your relationship, the first son's dad. And I'm sort of jealous that you did that because my mom never did that. I don't know if you've heard of my story, because I just started sharing. I'm
Yeah.
healing from this story, so I'm able to share it with
Mm-hmm.
very little emotion. I mean, I cry and all that, but it's more of like a healing cry versus like a sad cry. Um, because my mom never did that. And you are spot on when you said I couldn't be the mother that I should be for my son
Yeah.
because I was going through that toxic environment, and I couldn't put him through that because that's going to impact him. And I have to commend you for that because it truly will impact your son. It would have impacted your son in a very negative way. So thank you for doing that. You are
Yeah.
a great model of a mom.
Yeah. But now don't get me wrong. It did take me about a year, but I knew that at some point it couldn't happen. It wasn't, it was going to break me. It was taking me to a place that I was like, I can't, this is like uncharted territories. Like I have to be a mom.
Yes.
So
So talk about that feeling of creating and the process of building a business, because I'm the same way. Um, and people that are used to working, there's people that are might tell me like, why can't you just get another job? Like, why can't you just work? Or like sometimes I get so
yeah.
frustrated, right? I get so super frustrated, and I'm like, I'm
hmm
working so hard and I'm not even making any money right now. But they, like, I think a lot of people don't understand that it's not about the money. The money is an
It's never
applause.
about the money. It's
But
never
it's
been
like
about the
it's
money.
it's the process that just gives me so much energy, right? Talk about
You
that a
know.
lot more and dive deep into that.
So for me, business to me is like, it's like that. It just gives me like the shakes. Like I feel like the Energizer Bunny because it's like I'm such a creative. Like I can literally sit and I have a network of women. I have the Momtrepreneur Network, and I have women that reach out to me daily, and I'm constantly helping them with their businesses. And when they sit there and they tell me, what they're getting their business started in, I'm immediately spitfiring ideas of different marketing techniques, different things that they can do. And it's just like, it's what comes up, comes out. It's so natural for me. And the business world for me, it's like a puzzle. I love putting it together. I love walking in there and people looking at me like, who is she? Like, she has nothing. And when I open my mouth, I captivate the room. I take everyone's breath away and they're like, I need to know her. That for me is like everything. I don't do it for notoriety. I don't do it to prove a point that, oh, I can empower women. No, I want everyone to understand, I'm a single mom. I I've gone through so much, but I'm not going to allow that to stop me from what my ultimate dream is, which is running multi-million dollar businesses. Because for me, I know that I can make it happen. I believe in myself that much. Because I've built other businesses. I literally, when I was 18 years old, I had a job. I started working at the lowest of the franchise. I was a team member, cleaning out yogurt machines. I was so dedicated to that place because I loved it so much. I moved up to team lead, then moved up to assistant manager, then moved up to manager, then moved up to corporate trainer, then moved up to executive assistant to the president, to where They literally gave me a bank account with $500,000 in it and said, here, project management, get the Altamont store built. Let's do it. I was 18 years old doing this. I knew in that exact moment that when I stood outside of that store and I saw what I created, I already knew it was a wrap. I was like, this whole business game is done. This is me. Like, I will be known for being that boss mom that can run businesses, that can make a profit and do it all looking fly, like just being a boss. Like, and I knew it, and that's what I'm doing. And it makes me so happy to see, like, I built this. I literally, blood, sweat, tears, not sleeping. I literally last night went to sleep at almost 5 a.m. Why? Because I was building a website. Because I make sure that everything that I do it with excellence, because I'm committed and I'm dedicated, because it's bigger than me. It's like I'm leaving a legacy for my kids. I'm doing so much, and it's just like, it makes me so happy. And my kids are picking up on it. My son, he's like, Mom, I can't wait when I get older. I want to own a Dunkin' Donuts. I want to own my own cleaning company. He's like, when are you going to take me with you so I can wash the windows? Like, he's so excited. And I'm like, yes, I'm doing something right, because I know that they're picking up on the example that I'm leading. And at the end of the day, that's what matters to me. So it's not about the money. You know, it's great, we can make a profit. Okay, but we could do that at a job. It's about the impact. It's about what we're setting, the tone we're setting for our children and for the future. You know, a lot of people, and I didn't even realize it, look up to me, you know, because I put a lot of my life
Yes,
out on
girl.
social media, and it's just like, I didn't understand what it was until I started getting the flood messages of, oh my God, you're doing this, from men, from women, from younger girls. And I'm like, this is what God called me to do. Because it wouldn't come so easy if that's what it was. If that's not what it was. It's my passion. So for business, for me, it's like eating your favorite candy over and over and not getting a tummy ache, and just being able to engulf in like the greatness and the sugary and feeling the energy. Like, it's just fun. You can literally throw me a business and I can seriously like come together with an entire marketing plan, a business plan, your financial structure, everything. Just give me an hour and I can do it. Like, I'm so gangster with it. I'm sorry, but like, I love it.
I love that. Oh my gosh, you're just like me when it comes to business. I get so pumped about business. And you know, um, you talk about building businesses. So that is a plural, right? And I hear so many people, and I think I get people to maybe frown upon because I have several businesses, and it's like, how does she do what she does? And how can she, like, okay, I have this networking platform that I own called Game Changers Global Network. I founded
Mm-hmm.
it with a partner. And we had a Christmas party, and my husband showed up. My husband barely shows up. In like, he's not antisocial because he can hold his own when he's in the room, but he's an introvert. So
Mm-hmm.
he's a social introvert, but he would rather be home, right?
Yeah.
And so he went in there, and the first question that a lot of people ask him that he just met is, does Kareen ever sleep? And he's like, oh yeah, she sleeps. Like, how much does she sleep? Because they don't believe in me when I tell them I only would sleep 5 hours a night. Like, I schedule it.
Yeah.
Like, even my sleep has a schedule, you know. And I think it's hard to fathom for some people to really have multiple businesses, you know,
Yeah.
juggling one, and being a mom and being a wife and this and that, and being a friend, a sister, a daughter, or whatever. It can be done, sister.
I mean, I hate to toot our own horns, but like, beep beep, because I mean, I have a cleaning company, a catering company. I'm a certified life and business coach. I have a nonprofit network. I'm a mom, a single mom of 2 boys. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I'm a daughter. Like, I'm sorry, but if someone tries to tell me an excuse, I'm just like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, sure, you can't do
Yeah.
it. No, I mean, I feel like if you're a mom, you can do anything. Women are so
Yes.
amazing. We create life. And that's why I think it's so easy for us to birth businesses, because we have the capacity to grow life inside of us. So to take that and put it into something on earth, it's like, oh my gosh. Like, that's why women are dominating. I'm sorry, but I
Yeah.
tell people, I don't care. I'm so confident in my abilities to make things happen and execute that I outwork everybody. When you're
Yeah.
sleeping and partying, I'm here websites, getting stuff done, getting marketing plans together, making things happen. Because at the end of the day, I know at one point I was dead broke, had nothing to my name. I know what it is to have nothing at all, to literally be, you know, by yourself, no car, no, not even understanding what's going to happen to your life. And I literally 360'd it in less than a year. Running
Wow.
businesses with babies. I'm telling you, my son is 6 months old, and I have pictures of me sitting there doing invoices and getting things together for the cleaning company. Like, I was not playing. And even to this day, I still don't play, because I know that things got to happen and I have to make them happen, because a lot of people depend on me, especially when you're in like an industry where you have employees. You have to remember, if you're not giving them work, how are they going to feed their families? When you decide to bring employees into your business, you're literally like, that's a big risk in itself, because if you're not producing, they can't, you know, win. They can't eat, they can't feed their families. And for me, that would kill me, because I'm like,
You have way bigger responsibilities when you have life depending on you, not just life as like your kids. Like I always say, it's so tough to be an employer because you're not just feeding your family, you're feeding like multiple families because it
exactly.
trickles down from you. You are like right there. Hi, baby. This is what we call Mother Hustling Monday.
Exactly. Yes.
I do a Facebook Live called Mother Hustling Monday, and
That's
I
so
just talk about
awesome.
business. I talk about business. I talk about the answers to questions from people that always DM you.
Yeah.
And I just sometimes don't have a lot of time to answer everybody. So Mother Hustling Monday is where everybody gets their answers without being charged an hourly rate.
Right? I do Momtrepreneur Monday. I highlight one woman in the community that's a mom that's killing it. So that's something that I'm definitely going to be remaining consistent on, because women like to be acknowledged, and I think they deserve it, especially when you're a hardworking mom. This is not easy, you know, balancing. And I don't even say balance anymore. It's work home integration, work family integration. There is no
Yeah.
balance for me, because there's no one day that's the same. So we just got to integrate.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the balance, because I always get questions from women locally and through social media, like how the heck do you balance your life, work-life balance? And I just say, sister, the sooner you get it, that there is no such thing, the more your life is going to be easier.
Exactly. You have to just, honestly, when you decide to be an entrepreneur, there's never a guide. There's no way for you to know what's going to happen. So you gotta stay ready, so you never have to get ready. That's my motto. Like, that's just what it is. But this planner, everything is in this planner. So I know I keep my days very separate. Mondays and Fridays, I'm working from home with baby, and I'm getting stuff done with him here regardless. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will be my days like where I'm out, I'm at meetings, or if I need to go, you know, help with cleanings, if I need to just make sure everything's good. Bank days, that's what those 3 designated days are. And baby is with nanny or something like that. So I've already set it in my head. Mondays and Fridays are off limits. Like, that's my work from home. If it's not, I can't do it at home, I can't do it at all. And then weekends, strictly for kids. That's it. Sunday night, I'll have a couple hours where I'm able to answer emails and stuff like that. But I literally, when I first started on my entrepreneurial journey, I literally was working like 20 hours a day. It was like, why did I stop the corporate job to still be away from my kids so much more? So I had to
Yeah.
learn very quick, delegating tasks out, hiring employees, things like that, because it's like, I can't be a PTA mom working 20 hours a day. I
Nope.
can't do the things that I initially started on this journey to do working this way. So I learned quickly. I created a schedule. I use my planner. I put everything in here. If it's not in the planner, then it's something that I just don't need to be doing. Like, it's creating that discipline and habit.
It's true. So let's dive deeper into that, because I get a lot of moms, especially, is like, how can you get everything done? And I feel like, that when you told me your schedule, I feel like you're talking about me, because I'm the same way. Monday and Friday. Friday is actually me day for me, where it's just me, you know, because I have school age kids, so they're in school, right? And it's just me. I'm not having meetings. I'm going getting my pedicure, whatever it is
Yeah.
that I need to do for myself. That's the day, or getting my car fixed or oil change and all of these stuff, because they still have to be done.
No, you're absolutely correct.
And then Mondays is office day, you know, like just really having a master plan for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And people think about that, and moms especially that don't have the mindset that you and I have, it's so overwhelming for them. But once you put it to paper, like pen to paper, and you really commit to the schedule, like they ask me, how do you even get your workout? Well, you know, I used to have time to go to the gym, but my workouts are non-negotiable. Now I do it at home. Like I can,
Exactly, non-negotiables.
yeah, and I go walk to my car. Well, I'm gonna go grab something from my car from my office. So what do I do is I'm jump squatting to my car. You know,
There
like
you go.
like seriously, you can. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. And I
No,
think
and
the all or
I
nothing.
love that. You
Yeah.
have to, that's another big thing with the balance. You have to balance your non-negotiables. Like, what am I not giving up? And I'm sorry, for me, I get my pedicure like every Friday. Like, it's around Fridays that I'll go. That's one thing that's non-negotiable. If I have to be in heels for, 12 hours out of a day sometimes, I'm going to do that for me. I can, spare the $25. It's fine. But there's a lot of things that, and you said that, and I'm like, now all my bells are ringing. Like, what is a non-negotiable? Like the gym, non-negotiable. I need that energy. I need that fuel. That's what keeps me going. So I definitely can feel you on making sure, what can you give up? What can't you? Sometimes I even have to sit in the car. Like, I pull up to the house and I'm in the car for like an additional 15 minutes trying to go through emails. And I've completely cut that out because I'm like, I can do that at night, get the kids in the house, get them started early so that they can, do their own thing. So there's a lot of things that I had to change with my habits and things that I was doing, because I was also creating, I believe, toxic habits for the kids, where if I'm, coming into the house and not putting my shoes in the closet and throwing them all over the place, they're doing the same thing. So
Yeah.
it's just like all the habits. It's so important, I think, to be that model person for your kids.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And when you say like I'm in my car, I used to do that. And then I'm like an hour later I'm still in my car, which is really not good.
Really,
And so what woke me up to that was when, because it's my non-negotiable to lay down with my boys when I tuck them in. So they have like a 8:30 for the youngest and 9 p.m. for the oldest. And at 8:30, so I just like lay there with him, talk about his day, and cuddling and hugging him. And we talk about his day. And one day he says, Mom, you love your phone more than you love Caden. That's his oldest brother. And I said, no, that's not true. And although I say that that's not true, I'm probably showing them that it seems that way, because for him to say that, it has to
yeah.
come from something. And so I'm like, okay, Corinne, you need to change your habits. But I think it's doing too. It's like women are so overwhelmed because we are overwhelmed. But we're overwhelmed because we just think it. But if you start doing it and like put it into action, like pen to paper,
Yeah.
Mondays, no meetings, no office, no nothing, just home with kids. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like most people that are overwhelmed, they just think of it. They're not like taking action. But if you take like
Exactly.
one bite at a time, seriously, like I always tell people, seriously, the answers show up when you take action. Like you don't have to have all the answers right away.
And I feel like that's the biggest part with a lot of people, why they hold back from doing what they want to do, or putting their business out there, or even putting content out there for their business, is they're so afraid of what's going to happen. What if nobody likes my stuff? What if this? What if that? And it's just like, you're
So
not even
what?
putting anything out there to even let people know if they're going to like it. You're not even giving them the choice to like it. So it's like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm. So talk to me about what you do now exactly.
So, okay. Currently, so right now my catering company is on the back burner. I'm not really focused on that. It was something that is like fun. I enjoy cooking, but it's not anything where I'm like, oh my God, I gotta do it now. So right now my main focus is my cleaning company and my Momtrepreneur Network. My cleaning company, I just made the decision to cut out all residential services, and now I'm just sticking to commercial because I obviously have a bigger plan in mind. And we all know that commercial trumps residential. It's better money, better contracts, and less of a headache. You know, with residential customers, there's a very emotional attachment to the money. They don't
Yes.
really, you know, then so they're very tedious, and it just can be a headache. And you know, I'm at a point now where I loved when I first started. You know, it was fun for me, but now as I'm, you know, I've done it for a year, my body isn't the same anymore, so I can't really get down and dirty like that. And it's just like, then, you know, I want to expand into Tampa, into Jacksonville, and to bigger cities. And it would be much easier to copy and paste a commercial model versus a residential model. So I was
Yeah.
thinking expansion. I'm thinking further down the line when it comes to the cleaning company. So right now I'm kind of restructuring the whole business and getting things to how I want them, so that when I'm ready to move into a different territory, it's just literally, I just got to find the Michelle in that area, put her in place, train her, and I can just go. And then I have my nonprofit, and it's the Momtrepreneur Network. And it's literally just an interactive hub for women, teens, girls, for resources. I feel like I can be an unlimited resource. There's something that I know that you don't, and I can help you. And if I don't know it, best believe I know somebody that doesn't. We're going to find out. So I'm very big on, you know, offering the help to women that need that confidence boost, that need that affirmation that they can do it, that need to feel empowered. That's what I'm here for. But I'm also here to provide resources and to give them the knowledge that I've learned, and to point them into the direction of mentors, and just generally help them. And that's what I want. So those are my two main focuses right now. But I'm also, I just booked my first speaking engagement of 2019. I'll be speaking in front of about 200 women at an empowerment conference on how I became a woman of influence. So I'm extremely excited about that. So for about 15 minutes, I get to talk about my journey. And I love doing that. You know, I've spoke last year. I think I did probably about 10 different speaking engagements. And they were so much fun because it was like each engagement, you know, I had to tell my story, but I told it in a different way because I'm so just organic with it. I feel like when I get up there, I feel the crowd out a little bit, and what comes up at that point comes out, and it just works. So I love the empowerment speaking, and I'm a certified life and business coach, and I specialize in confidence coaching and empowerment coaching. So, you know, I'm helping women with that as well. So those are my three main things that I'm doing. And of course, being a mommy. So that's when you can catch me.
That baby.
Yes,
How could
my
you
little
not be a
man.
mommy to that cutie? So that's amazing, because, and that's another thing too, as an entrepreneur, you've got to know when to change it. You've got to know. So for the mommies that are listening out there that maybe don't quite know this, here's a tip for you. You've got to know when to set your sail and when to set it to go a different route. You can't just keep doing all the wrong things over and over, because that would be insanity. The same thing over and over, right? You have to have the mindset of, okay, what is going to serve my vision? And what's going to serve your vision is not going to be, like you said, wasn't going to be the residential. So you let the focus on that go. Now you're focusing on the commercial. You've got to have a vision too. And I teach this a lot because I also do a lot of speaking and I do a lot of tips. And I always say, you have to have a mission or vision. You can't just like go about a project. And I say, not even like, you have to have a mission and vision for your life. You have to have a mission and vision for each project that you're working on. And you've got to have a mission and vision, and this is for married people, in your marriage. Because when things are rough, and it will be rough in business, you go back to that mission and vision, and you're like, why do we exist? What are we doing every day?
Yeah, why?
Up every day. Yes. And what is it that we have to look forward to when we do this on a daily basis? Because I think the mission is a daily thing, and the vision is that if you consistently and commit to the mission, you'll get to the vision, right?
Exactly. Yes. Being committed is probably the number one thing that I can say in my journey. Because with commitment comes, let me see how I'm going to say this. So with commitment comes, you know, repeat. You know, people, you get your credibility. When you're committed to something and people see that you're consistently doing it, you get your credibility. And I built my credibility up really quickly because I was so committed to making sure every Tuesday I was on Tip Tuesday Live answering questions about how to keep your house clean and how the cleanliness of your home affects your environment, and basically giving people the rundown that bleach is not a disinfectant. So stop cleaning your house with bleach because it's not cleaning. You know, people didn't know those things. And because I could provide that extra insight and I could provide those tips, I booked services because of that. People, you know, flocked to me. I became the queen of clean. People knew me and resonated. Oh, that's the queen of clean. Oh, go get your house done by the queen of clean. And when that started happening, I was like, I've made it. You know, like at that point, I grew this in 90 days from remaining consistent on social media. You know, that's how people knew me.
It's amazing.
So it is very, very important. And it's to be consistent with what you're posting, to be consistent in the image that you're portraying for everyone around you, because you have to remember, everybody's watching you. You
Yep.
may not understand it or you may not feel it at first, but when people start picking up on the things that you're doing and you're consistent and you're hitting all those keys and it's just genuinely and natural, that's how you grow your audience. That's how you get people to come with you with love instead of hate. And it's just like,
Yes.
I'm like, you guys don't understand. You just do what you got to do. Don't worry about, you know, the likes and the follows and all that. Just be who you are, and that'll all come in time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Kareen, I did not at all ever think that I would get a message from someone telling me that because of me, they decided to literally stop what they were doing and follow their dreams. That to me is mind blowing. I'm like, God has blessed me in ways that I'm forever in debt. Like, seriously. And because I always had a different vision for my life. But I know that after I had my kids, my purpose of helping others became so real. Like, it was just so natural. Like, for some reason, I would meet girls and they just would pour into me. They would tell me all their problems, and I was just there like, you know, let's do this, let's do that. I'm such a problem solver. You know, you give me an issue, I'm all about a solution. I'm all about execution. I don't believe in sitting there and lingering on a problem and, oh,
Yeah.
we can't do this and we can't do that. That doesn't fix it. Either it's going to fix it or it's not. And either way, we're not complaining about it because we don't have time for that. And the time that you put your energy into the negativity, you could already be on something else. You can be moving forward, left it behind, whatever the
Amen,
case.
girl. So
So
true.
I'm just a real
So
big person, you know, and sometimes people can take my snappiness or, you know, they take it out of context. It's like, no, I'm so passionate about this. I'm passionate about helping the women. I want women to win. Like, it's, for me, it's addicting because I know the feeling of being on top. I know the feeling of executing all these and still changing diapers. I want them to feel that too.
yeah.
So it's
Well,
like a
you
whole
know the
different thing.
feeling. You know the feeling when someone says, I look up to you. You know the feeling when someone says, you literally made me go chase my dreams with just the one post that you did. I don't even know what I said in that post. You know, like you said, just do you, girl, just keep doing you. And you said everybody's watching even when you don't know they are, even when they're not liking or hearting or
Oh, yeah.
whatever.
Those are the ones that watch the most.
I know.
It's like, it's okay. I know that you know, it's so funny because the people that you would expect to support you, and, you know, I see so many people that complain about not receiving the support, and I'm like, please stop. You're discrediting the love. You're discrediting that person that may live in Missouri that goes to your page every day to find some type of motivation to keep their day going. Like, don't
Yeah.
discredit the people that truly are there for you. And I'm sorry, but all the people that support me, most of them are strangers. Most of them are from other cities and other places, and they've never met
Yes,
me, but
me
they
too,
think that
girl.
what I'm doing is amazing. And it's
Me
like,
too,
that's
girl.
okay. But
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. That's actually how it's all designed because we're all pieces of the puzzle in this world.
Exactly.
And sometimes your mom or dad will look at you as little Kareem. They don't look at you as a go-getter. It's not that they don't support and love you. They just don't see you as the new version of you because we go through so many versions of
Exactly.
us. And the version of us that have grown, sometimes it's weird for them. And that's, you know, I always, like you said, stop already. They are supporting you. The fact that they watch you, they're
Yeah,
supporting you. You just don't know it. And you don't need all that validation, right?
exactly. And I'm a huge person of, why do you care what people think? Their
Yeah.
opinions will never pay your bills. And half the time they won't buy your product. They don't care. You know, I used to send, like, if I would make like a graphic for the cleaning company or something, I would send it to one of my friends and be like, what do you think? And if they didn't like it, I would be so hard on myself. And I'm like, one day I just sat down and I'm like, I'm asking people to look at something that they're not even interested in ever having a house cleaning service. They would never even book my service. So I'm taking the opinion from someone that's not even in my target market. What am I doing? Why am I asking anyone to proofread my vision? If I put this map together this way, it's because that's what was in me in that moment to put it that way.
That's what was downloaded to you by God, because we get downloaded information by him. Whoever you want to believe, God, the universe, whatever, manifestation. And we manifest all these dreams. And when the dream comes and the vision like is so freaking clear, we go ask someone else, what do you think?
Exactly. And I used to do that so much. And it was horrible because it would leave me sick. Because I'm like, they wouldn't like it. And I would be like, so I have to change this and change that. But I'm like, but I like it. And then I'm like, I don't care what they like. Like,
that's all that matters. What you like. That's all it matters. I know. I hear you, girl. I love this conversation. This is amazing.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. Let's talk about failure, because I failed.
Yes. Failure, yes.
How does failure, or how do you put your positive twist on failure? Because we all know with a mindset like you and me that it really isn't the failure that everybody thinks it is. We see failure through a different lens. Talk about that.
So for me, failure, it's happened to me plenty of times. I've probably, within my first company, the cleaning company, I probably failed like a good 3 or 4 times. Like, and I'm talking about went dead broke, was like, what am I doing? I'm doing it all wrong. And it gave me a different kind of fire, because you have to remember, when you decide to become an entrepreneur or a business owner and you walk away from your job, and, you know, I didn't have a huge savings. I didn't have any of that. I just knew that I was going to make it work. So when you fail and you have no money and, you know, like, I got 2 babies, that's all I needed to know. It was like that failure lit me like 50 steps forward. Like, it just was, I was hustling, I was nonstop, and I made up for all the loss that I did. But for me, I took that failure and I was like, this is what I'm not going to do moving forward. I'm not going to do it this way. I know now that I have to do it that way. And I was able to take those experiences and put them into the women in my network and put them into the women that reached out to me. It's like, I did it this way. So, you know, it might work for you, but tweak it this way. You know, don't necessarily come at it with this approach, come with that approach. So I take my failures and I'm like, yes, I have some more education now on how not to run this business and how not to do this next time. And it's grown my character. It's been a lot of character building, but you need those failures, because sometimes you got to humble yourself. You know, sometimes you need to remember, like, you know, I know I'm that queen. I know I'm her. But sometimes I got to take a step back and just be thankful and embrace what's going on around me, because I'm a very quick person. I'm very fast paced. I like things done in my time, my manner. And I'm a Gemini. So I have the snippy and I have the sassy, and I'm just like all of that. And I can sometimes, I know I'm a lot because I'm so passionate. And, you know, sometimes I got to take a step back because I'm not for everybody. And I don't try to be, but, you know, I like to make sure that whether you like me or you don't, you're going to respect me and understand that I'm here for a purpose. So, you know, I had to, you know, learn very quickly, you know, the tricks in the trade of business. And, you know, some lessons and failures were they hurt. I cried. But some I was like, you know what? I needed that. Like, I really needed that boost. And I thank God for both of them. So.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you're a Gemini too, like me. This is like hair raising, because I'm like, oh my gosh, she's talking about my schedule Monday and Friday. And then now, like, you're talking about failure, like education. Because whenever I have failures or just frustrations, I'm like, there goes a degree, right? Yep. The School of Hard Knocks degree is super sour in the beginning, but it's like feedback on steroids.
I appreciate, I'm telling you, I don't think, you know, obviously you get sad when you want something to work and it doesn't work out the way it's supposed to, or the way you think, but you have to remember that it's all in the divine timing with God. Like, when it's time for you to move. And that's why, you know, just to touch back really quickly, you said that a lot of people sometimes frown upon you for having multiple businesses. A lot of people say the same thing to me too. You need to focus on one thing. And I'm like, hold up. God put this vision in me, not in you. So if he wants me out here raising kids and running 5 businesses, guess what? He's giving me the capacity to handle it, and I'm doing it. So first of all, I'm going to need you to stop being judgy and worry about yourself. Like, that's my approach to it. I'm Superwoman. You know, I'm so confident in my abilities. I know I can handle it. And God, I'm wonderfully made. That's all I can say, because I handle it.
We are so unlimited, and I never really realized how unlimited we truly are until one day I spoke with probably actually one of my guests, Maru Yabichela. And I said, you know, one of my biggest asks is to be top 100 podcast. And that scares me to like say that, because I feel like I'm not even scratching the surface yet, you know? And I
really
celebrate.
Not, though.
I'm celebrating every 1,000. So I don't know if you've seen some of my posts. Like, it took us 7 months to get to 4,000 downloads, and then just under 30 days to get another 1,000, and then it went to 13 days to get another 1,000, and just recently we got under 6 days to get another 1,000. And so the thousands are coming faster than they've ever had. And so she says, when I said that, she says, no. You have to look at the universe as unlimited, because based on your ask and how unlimited the universe really is, your ask is nothing.
Exactly. It's amazing to think it's so much bigger than us. Like, that to me, to think like we've created, you know, we have, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 businesses. We're moms, but we could be doing so much more. And I think for me, that's why I push myself, because I'm like, I'm doing all this, but I can do more.
I know. And the other day, somebody told me that, like, I look up to you. And like, I had this negative self-talk, you know, the subconscious mind always pops up and automatically say, like, I don't know if I deserve to be looked up to. You know, it's like, wait a minute, you have to change. I'm like, okay.
It's like a power struggle.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I receive all that. I know that a lot of people look up to me, but there's always more work to do. Like, I always say that there's always more work to do. You know, because that's
just the fighting hustler spirit that we have. You know, not everybody is built like us. Here, baby. I'm so sorry. Here, baby.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay. Here. Not everyone is built like us, and it comes to a certain point where, you know, we're like, are we gonna make it happen, or we're not gonna make it happen? Yeah. And I'm always like, whether I gotta have the baby on the lap or not, we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, we're making it happen right now. I can't wait for people to see it, because this is what Mother Hustling all about, you know. So thank you so much for being here and telling us a lot of tips and sharing a lot of your journey. Appreciate your hustle, sister, and you just keep doing what you're doing. I commend you for just going for it and making it work. And you make it work beautifully. Like, look at you. You're so super beautiful. And
thank you.
And mothering and have a baby. So for those of you that are going to be listening on the podcast, maybe during your drive time, she has her baby on her lap. And, you know, I had a interview with someone says, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no, this is what it's all about. I want it to be organic. I want it to be real. I want people to know that this is what a life of a mother hustler looks like. A momtrepreneur, like your brand.
Yes.
So, and if they don't like it, see you later.
No, but I thank you, Kareen, for having me. I love telling my story, because honestly, I'm literally just here to show you that God is real, and it's faith with works. If you're willing to put in the hustle and give it your all, you can literally have whatever you want. And I'm telling you, we'll revisit each other again, and by the end of this year, I'm going to be a 6-figure earner. Like, that's it.
You got this, girl. You got this.
We got this.
If anybody can do it, it's you. We got this.
I love it.
So,
thank you so much.
If your mom was listening, what's your mom's name?
Donna.
So these are going to be my last few questions. If she was listening today, what message would you tell her?
I would tell her that I love her dearly, as much as she may not think that I do, or whatever feelings are there, that she's inspired me to be the woman that I am today. That because of her, I know what work ethic is, and I know what love is. You know, she poured into me so much growing up, and you know, as we get older, we feel like we don't need our parents as much, and, you know, you drift apart. But I just want her to know that I'm so thankful that she was placed in my life, because not only is she an amazing mom, she's an amazing grandmother. So I love her more than anything,
Oh.
regardless of whatever happens. Doing cookies.
And you have boys, right?
2 boys. I have a 6-year-old, and I have this little monster right here. He's almost 2. Okay, what's wrong? You want the cookie?
Same as me. I've got 2, but they're 13 and 10 this year, so
I'm excited. I'm excited for that age.
Bigger. Yes. So what are their names?
This is Trevor, the one that's screaming on the floor. I'm so sorry. This is Trevor, and then Landon. So it's Trevor, Connor, and Landon Carter. Mm-hmm.
What
I wanted them to have CEO
message
names.
would you send or tell your kids? That's very
that
nice.
everything that mommy ever did in her life, from the moment that they came, is for them. Every little thing that I do is because I want them to have the absolute best of everything, and that I want to thank them for turning me into the woman I am today, because if I didn't have them, I wouldn't be this woman. They make me be better. They make me want to win. They make me want to live right. They made me want to find God. And because of them, I'm still alive here today. So all of my success, even though he's crying over there, it's for them. I love my children more than anything in this world.
I love you for that, because that's like, I always say this, they enhance our lives.
They do. Yeah. I'm blessed. I'm regardless of the situation at hand, they are a blessing. I love my children.
When you heard the word mother hustler, what came into your mind?
Me. I was like, mother hustler. I resonate with all of that. That is me.
That's like the first answer that said me.
Me, because I know that, like, I work hard. Hold on 1 second. Here, baby. Okay. Here you go. Go drink that. Okay. You want to come with mommy? Come on. Okay. I'm ready for now.
Poor baby.
It's okay. I'm sorry. But he's just like ready to go to sleep. But yeah, I resonate with it because I'm a hustler. Like, I love that word. I love the hustle. Like, I'm a very big Gary Vee fan, so I'm all about hustle and execution. And when you put mother in front of it, and it's just like, okay, that's me.
Yes, there's a lot of us, girl. It's like a tribe of moms.
And I love it so much because they're so encouraging. It's like, you're in California?
I'm in Portland, Oregon area. Yeah.
You're in Oregon, okay. And we're literally diagonally across. I'm in Florida. And look at the support and the love that I can feel radiating through my iPad right now. Like, I just feel like you're hugging me, and it's just such an amazing feeling when women truly are supporting each other. And that's, you know, that's what it's all about.
Yes. And social media is such a blessing. And I know a lot of people shun social media because it does have a lot of negative stuff in it. But for me, it's like, you want to know if God really exists. Like, this is like the best gift God's ever given to humanity. You know what I'm saying?
Because we can connect with people that are so far from us. I would have never met you. Probably would have never met you if it wasn't for this. Okay.
So, all right, sister. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll see you on social media. Message me if there's anything.
Yes.
And vice versa.
I'm so sorry. Thank you, Kareem, for having me. I love you dearly. I love your show. And
love you, girl.
Bye.
Bye.
Right.